I'm Brett Ballman, the founder of Master the Masses Life Coaching. Thank you for joining me today on this special live event, and a big thank you to CureJoy for inviting me to host this live event on their Facebook page. Please do me a favor before you sign off today and be sure to like their page. This will help us to continue doing great events like this for you in the future. So today, we're going to talk about how to improve your relationships, personally, professionally, and with yourself. And I'm going to answer your questions. But before we get started, let's make sure all systems are go. I'd hate to have you sitting there watching me talk and hearing nothing. So if you can hear me, please type a Y in the chat box. Okay? Okay, great. Well, it looks like we got a couple coming in. All right, looks like we're good to go. Now, for fun, I'd like to have everybody type in the name of the city you're joining us from today. Let's see where we are, where we're all coming from in the world. Excellent. See a lot of Californias, of course. Texas, Illinois, Canada. Very nice. Awesome. We have the UK, Miami, Florida. Awesome, guys. We have listeners from all over the world. Look, that's excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today. So let's get started, all right? Let's have some fun. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, you can click the heart button or the like button as many times as you like throughout today's event. So if I'm talking about something and you like what I'm saying, click the heart button, okay? That'll let me know that you like the material, and later I'll be sure to develop more content around those ideas. All right? All right, question number 1. Are negative emotions bad for my health? Great question, and a really important lesson to start with. The short answer is no, but let me explain. So, like most things in life, or many things, there's unfortunately a lot of bad information out there. So think of it this way. You shouldn't think of emotions as negative or positive or good or bad. Think of it more like a battery. When you get a battery, you think of 2 charges. You don't think of one doing something good for you and one doing something bad for you. Okay? And just like fear can save your life. It can maybe warn you or caution you from going down a dark alley or making a bad decision, grabbing a hot stove that's on fire or burning. There's different things that emotions can do to help you. So think of emotions, both what you call right now good and bad or positive and negative, as being signals. What they're simply doing is they're trying to tell you to move towards things that work in your life or away from things that aren't working in life. Okay? Let me give you an example. I have a lot of people come to me for anger management. And the first thing people will say when they sit down is they say, I want to get rid of my anger. That's my biggest problem. I don't want to have anger anymore. But the crazy thing is the problem isn't the anger. You're angry as a reaction to something else. It's something you're not getting in your life. Anger is generally related to you feeling that you've been disrespected. You're not valued, or maybe somebody's stepped over their bounds, or they've overstepped your lines, your morals, and it's offended you. So what you need to do is, instead of shying away from emotions and thinking that anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, instead of thinking these things are negative emotions, something that you should fear and they control you or mess up your life, they're a signal. And what you should do is, instead of repressing it or running away from it or feeling bad, a lot of men feel like they shouldn't be angry or they shouldn't be sad, right? Instead of repressing your emotion, you should fully express it. But you need to do it in a healthy, constructive way. So instead of getting angry and running into someone's car or throwing over a table or punching something, those are not good decisions. What you want to do is allow your body and your mind to physically fully express the emotion. Feel it, let it wash over you, okay? Take a moment by yourself and understand why it happened. The whole goal is to ask yourself, why did this happen? Why did I feel angry? Why did I feel sad? Why do I feel guilt? When you're feeling these things, it's the signal. And what it's doing is it's telling you what you need to work on. There's something there to learn, and there's something there to do. That's how it works with every problem. Learn something, do something. So to answer your question, no. Negative emotions are not bad for your health. What's bad for your health is your reactive behavior response to them. So when you change that, you're going to live a lot longer and healthier life. Okay, question number 2. How do I create a work-life balance? Another excellent question, you guys. Okay, this is another thing that I would say is highly important. To me, the key to success comes in balancing your life. I've been working with clients for almost 2 decades, and I'll tell you that More often than not, when I see somebody come to me with an issue, being unhappy, dealing with anxiety or stress, depression, or relationships are off, it's usually because they're off balance in their life. They're putting too much focus on their problems instead of solutions, and they're putting too much emphasis, too much time, energy, money, everything, too much love into one area of their life. Basically, usually the problem area. So if business is a problem, we spend 99% of our time focused on business, focused on the problem. If the relationship's the problem, we stay focused there. It's so important for you to grasp, to embrace and understand this concept of balancing your life. Okay? We think a lot of times life's about success, it's about money, it's about your happiness. Happiness is whatever makes you feel fulfilled every day. When you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, think about it. Think about when things aren't going well in your life, when you're dealing with credit cards, bills, problem with children, health, whatever it is. When you become stressed, you become insanely acute and aware of only the problem. You start losing the other faculties, the resources of your mind. So instead of being able to focus or be as emotionally intelligent or be able to know how to make the right decision, to trust and believe in yourself, it starts to fall apart. That's what happens when we aren't balanced. When we're not balanced, you're off balance on your success, on your goals, on your consistency, okay? So it's highly important to learn how to balance your life, and there's 3 steps to do it. Number 1, you have to have the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, nothing works. Attitude is always number 1. You have to believe in yourself. Think about it. When you have a problem, right now if you're feeling unbalanced and you want to have more time to spend with your family, to work out, to do the things you've always loved, so that all the time you're at work seems like there's a purpose for it. So when you think about that, what's happening right now? You're feeling constricted. You feel like you have no options, right? Your attitude's probably a little grim. You probably feel like there's nowhere to go. I'm stuck. I'm unhappy. I'm so tired of doing this. That attitude will not balance your life, nor will it improve your results. So number 1, change your attitude. You have to pay attention to limiting beliefs, negative emotions, the fears you have there in your mind. They're stopping you from doing the things you want to do. Okay? Second part is identifying your passions. You have to know what's most important to you in life, in each area of your life. Not just work again, not just play, not just health, it's everything. You have to know what's important to you about your health. How you want to look. When do you want to look like that? Why do you want to look like that? Where do you want to work? Why? What do you want to do with the money when you get it? You have to answer these questions. The more specific you can get, the better you are at identifying what's working in your life and what's not, and what you want to have and what you don't have that you need, so you can input it. So number 1 is your attitude. Number 2 is understanding your passions. When you know that I want to be playing baseball or tennis every week and I want to go hiking, and that fulfills me and that gives me a balanced life, it makes it easier to go back to work on Monday, right? Or I need to have some time with my family so I know why I'm working so hard, right? You have to have these fruits of the labor that balance things out. So attitude, then passions, and the last thing is you have to have a program. Some type of routine. You have to set goals and have some milestones, some way of self-managing yourself. So you're organized, and basically you want to think of it this way. Every day, every week, every month, and every year should be a stepping stone into your future, and they should build momentum. Everything you do, every choice you make, should be something that you're happy about, that you believe in, and you should see how it's fruitful for your future. How does it articulate success for you down the road? Do you learning a class is going to help your business? Is learning this tool going to help you stay healthier? Is it going to spend more time with your family, help you communicate at a higher level? So balance is so vital to your life. I'll tell you, the better balanced you are, the more success and the higher quality of happiness you'll experience in your life. Question number 3. What tips do you have for parents who want to create strong relationships with their children? This is something that hits close to home for me. I actually work with a lot of families doing family therapy or coaching for families, and also working with adolescents, with children, and then working with their family in a group setting. A lot of it dealing with anxiety, bullying, and sometimes drug addiction. So this is really important. And I'm going to give you right now one sentence, one concept that if you embrace this, will drastically improve your results with your kids. So here we go. If you got a pen, pencil, iPad, notepad, whatever it is, grab it and write this down. It's very simple, but it is the key to changing your relationships with your children or building the right ones. Here we go. Don't get caught up in the process. Get caught up in the results. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't get caught up in the process. Get caught up in the results. Here's what I mean by that. What most parents do, and it's because we love, unfortunately, when we love someone, you want to do everything for them. A lot of times we end up handicapping them or hurting them. So what we do is we have a child that does something wrong and we want to baby them, or we want to protect them. We want to, when they fall, we want to run and catch them. We want to put the Band-Aid on and fix the boo-boo, right? But as we grow as an adult, we have to make our own, not mistakes, our own choices and decisions so we can learn how to improve our decision making, so we become stronger and we start to recognize where our strengths and weaknesses lie. If somebody's always there to catch you, if there's always a net to fall in, you stop taking risks, you stop believing in yourself, you have less confidence, and you're not challenged. It's like going to the gym. If you never turn up the treadmill or you never raise the weight, you're not going to improve your health. You're not going to get stronger. So don't get caught up in the process, okay? Get caught up in the results. Too many times as parents, we'll want to help someone and we keep making false circumstances. If you do this one more time, you're going to be grounded. If you do this, we're taking your car away. And I've worked with dozens of families every year doing this. And a child will go and buy drugs on the street and get arrested, get in trouble, get fights, horrible things happening that could tear this person's life apart. And instantly the parents come in and swoop the child up and try to help them. Now, I understand. We love each other. But like I said again, if you want the result in the end, if the result is to build a strong relationship and help your child to have the best opportunity to be healthy and successful in life, then you have to be tied to the results and not the process. So don't always be talking about, oh, but I love them, I don't want to be hurt, it feels so bad. I understand that. But I watch over and over and over the loop happening where parents swoop in and save the kid. And what happens is by the time the kid's in their late teens, early 20s, they're in a lot of trouble and they need you for a long time. They're handicapped and they're dependent. So if you want to build a strong relationship, here's how you do it. Number one, we talked about a couple of these things before. Attitude. You have to first have the right attitude. Okay? You have to be doing the things, and be a good example of the things you're going to tell them that they have to do. You have to have that integrity. So you should be working on the things that you want to teach them to improve in their life. You should be a person that's organized and a person that follows through. You should be a person who has integrity. And if you make a mistake, own up to it. Show them it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to stumble. It's how you get back up. Number two, advanced communication. You have to communicate. If you're not talking with your child or making them feel comfortable that they can speak to you, they're not going to express what they need. And the important thing is the more you practice communication, the better you get at it. So if you think about it, think about when you were that age, or think about kids, they're adolescents, teens, young kids. First of all, they're embarrassed, they're shy, they're experiencing something they've probably never been through before. So they don't know how to articulate it. A lot of times they don't even know how to express what they're feeling or what's going on. So they need to be made to feel especially comfortable to be able to come to you with something. You have to work with them on understanding how to communicate and get them to open up. Communication is absolutely vital in helping you improve the situation. You want them to come to you when there's a problem. You want them to know that when there's something that they can turn to you and express it, and you'll be able to guide them without always just coming in and fixing it. And three, you have to have a plan. You got to put something together and show them that you're organized again. Give them a routine to follow so they can measure their success, so they can recognize when something isn't working and something is. I always suggest with families that you create a calendar together weekly so that you have times where you come together and you make sure you don't get caught up in work, you don't forget about somebody's soccer game or a play that's going on at the school, or husband and wife don't get upset because you talked about something 2 or 3 weeks ago, didn't put it on a calendar, and all of a sudden there's an event tonight that you have something double booked for. So it doesn't make anyone feel special if somebody forgets their event, but it's not being done on purpose. You just get overwhelmed and get busy. So the behaviors you use in your relationship, in your health, and the way you handle your career, the way you solve problems, they're all going to be passed down to your children. So the more you improve your situation or recognize the things you want to strengthen, the better it will translate to them. So what you need to do again is have the right attitude, good communication, and you got to have a plan. Put a plan together so you guys have at least one night a week where you have dinner. Get together on Sunday and talk about when the events are for the week. Who's got a game, who's got an event, who's got something at school coming up, where are we going to? So you make sure and have fun things to look forward to, and you also never miss something that's important to someone else. All right, here we go. Number 4. What can I do to recharge a relationship that's gone stale? I actually get asked this question a lot. I do a lot of relationship coaching, and this is a big one, especially for couples. So here's the main thing. There's a couple items I'm going to talk about, but 90% of the problem is communication. Think about it. If you're in a relationship and things have gone flat, they're not exciting anymore, you're not communicating. You're not talking about the problems. You're not talking about the things that need to change, and you're probably not sitting down and talking about goals, things you want to work on together. Here's what I've found that's happened with most relationships where it feels like it's flat or there's problems. First of all, communication's not happening. It's got to be improved. If you love this person, you should want to communicate with them and trust them to be somebody you can go to help improve your life, help you solve things, or find out what they want so you can support them. Okay? Number 2, you're probably living separate lives. I find this all the time and it fascinates me. People who are married, been together for 10, 20, 30 years, they have a couple kids. And I get it, when you have kids, you get busy and you're going different directions. But having totally separate lives to where even when it's time for enjoyment or vacation, they're going on separate vacations or out with separate groups of friends. Okay? If you're doing that, your relationship's probably going to get stale unless it's something you're doing to balance your life so you still have a social life plus a married life plus a family life. But most of the time what I find is there's just no relationship anymore. So we're looking for everything to improve, but we're not communicating. We're not spending any time together. We're not making any plans together. And we don't have any goals as a team together. You should think of yourselves as a romantic team and as a team that works together to create a successful life for you, for your family, etc. So the first thing you have to do is work on your communication. Start talking. As long as you start talking and you have the intention of listening to the other person so you can help improve yourself and them in the relationship, there's nothing you could do that's wrong. So first thing is communication, all right? Second thing is you need to start becoming a part of each other's life. Instead of living separate lives, find out what you can do together. Find out what you're both passionate about. Sometimes the guys like sports, the women like something else. They like going to ballet. And the guy's like, oh, I don't want to do that. You guys can do one thing for the other every once in a while. Figure out how you can get what you want and the other person can too. So you can be a partnership. Find the things you both love to do. That's probably why you started out together at the beginning, to begin with. Find the things you love and start doing them together again. And this is a really important one. You're a team. You're probably living in a house together. You're sharing costs of living, bills, etc. Stress. To reduce your stress, if you communicate and you create a plan, each week you set that plan like I talked about earlier so you know what's going on in your calendar in the week, so you can always be there and support each other, and so you're clear on what needs to get done. Set some goals on when you're going to have dinner together. Maybe have a date night. Figure out something you want to do at the end of the month after you've reached all these goals that you followed through with together. These are the ways that you reinvigorate a relationship. Trust me, you may be thinking about, oh, I was hoping you're going to say go to the beach and play a violin and have some wine and a romantic dinner. That's awesome too, but that should be one of the events that happens in the bigger picture. You're a team. You need to love and respect the person you're with, so you both feel like that person always has your back, and they make you feel the way you want to feel, which is loved, respected, fulfilled. So again, become a team again together. Talk with each other, trust each other, and enrich each other's lives. And very quickly, things won't be stale. All right, here we go with number 5. What are your tips to cultivate stress-free relationships? Okay, building upon what we've already discussed, because obviously communication is a huge key. I'm going to give you guys 2 techniques that I use that I've learned many years ago and been refining and refining and refining. And trust me, they're extremely powerful and they will change your life today. And they'll change all of your relationships. So as we go through this, I'd like to ask you to do a couple things for me. First, I want to ask you to focus on relationships in business. Think about what it's like with the people you work with, people you associate with. Think about this concept we're going to discuss as relationships that are romantic, people you love, people you care about, family. And also think about it as your relationship with yourself. which is the most important relationship, because if it's not intact, none of the others will be. Okay? So I'm going to give you 2 techniques. These are incredible. Here we go. Number 1, I call this concept problems versus challenges. If you want to create a stress-free relationship, it means you need to be in a place where you have the resources to create the life that you want. You have to have an attitude and a mindset to be able to see challenges in a way they're going to be either beneficial or something you can handle well. So here's the way I look at life. Problems versus challenges. Think about this in your relationships. Problems are something that comes up that we get stuck in, and we keep trying over and over to get a different result, but we keep getting the same result. Maybe you're in a relationship with someone for, let's say, like 5 years. Things start out okay, but long story short, it keeps getting worse. And you keep trying different tactics. You try arguing, not arguing, being nice, pampering them, trying to get them to go to therapy, trying to communicate, but it just never improves. You keep getting the same result over and over and over with this person. This is a problem. But here's the key that most people miss. Just because it's a problem doesn't mean there's not a good intention. You have a great intention. Your intention is you'd like to be loved. You want to be loved. You want to be in a relationship where you feel supported, where you can thrive and be abundant in your life, right? So there's a good intention there. So what you should do, instead of focusing on the problem and beating your head in the wall trying to get a different result, is take on the challenge. The challenge is to take the good intention and make it the action that you're going to take. So rather than trying to change this person that's never going to change because you've tried, you've worn out, you've exhausted all of your options, take the challenge and focus on it, okay? Go out and look for the person, the relationship, a place where you can be abundant, where you can get that love and that growth to thrive like you want, because it's not working here. So the first concept, if you want to have a good relationship, is being able to look at your relationship, business, professional, or with yourself, especially with yourself, and say, is what's going on right now a problem, or is it a challenge? If it's a problem, is it something that I've been doing over and over and expecting a different result, but I'm not? Or is it something that I don't even need in my life? How many times do you have things in your life that you're just obsessed over, trying to fix, you just get your head all wrapped in it, and you can't think about anything else, especially a solution? And you realize later, I didn't even really need to worry about that. It wasn't that big a deal. You just got caught up in it. That's a problem. Challenges, things that you can see a benefit, you can see the fruits of that. If I take this class, it's going to improve my intelligence. If I take this, it's going to improve my business. I can make more money. If I take this, I'll be better at taking care of my health. Problems and challenges. So as a couple, you need to recognize when you're focused on problems and how you can turn those into challenges. Drop the things you don't need and pick up the things that will benefit you both as a couple. Problems versus challenges. Think about how you're doing that in your life right now, and you'll realize, I guarantee you, probably more than 50 to 80% of your energy is being wasted on things that are actually problems. And when you figure out what the intention is, and you decide to take on the challenge of figuring out where you can do it in a different place or way, you'll see much better results very quickly. The second thing is embracing this concept. This is another one you'll probably want to write down. Everybody's doing the best they can with the resources they have. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. This is a big one. So everybody's doing the best they can with the resources they have. This is huge. When I learned this in the field of NLP, this is one of our presuppositions, meaning it's kind of one of the things we presuppose that we understand, we accept as being a truth. When I accepted this, it changed my life. You know, a lot of times we go out and we become agitated by the world. I always have people also ask me, how do you stay so positive? What do you do to get over people like road rage, all the killings, ISIS, these things going on? How do you stay positive? How do you not just say, it's time to wrap up shop and give up? Well, I say, you know what? Everybody out there is doing the best they can with the resources they have. If I'm driving down the road and somebody whips in front of me and cuts me off in their car, I'm not going to go chase them down and get aggravated and perpetuate that and keep the anger growing and then mess up my day and carry it on to my fiance's day and on and on and on. What I'm going to start doing, and what I want you to embrace, is knowing that that person is probably having a bad day. Do you ever get in your car and whip around aggravated, scream at people, slam doors, leave keys, forget things, not pay bills because it's fun and you planned it? No, it's because you're having a horrible day. Think about how overwhelmed and stressed you are in your life. How many times do you forget things? How many goals have you wanted to set and never even set? How many things have you wanted to accomplish or expected to go one way and they didn't? If you have the wrong attitude or the wrong outlook, life's going to tend to be handing those things to you in gift baskets every single day. If you change your thinking and you become objective so that you can then see something in life and react the way you want, or actually be part of the solution instead of the problem, it'll change everything for you, especially in relationships. People aren't nagging at you because they want to nag at you. They're not fighting at you because they want to fight. They're not listening to you because they don't want to listen to you. It's because they need to improve their communication. There's a skill that's missing. There's something they need. Maybe they haven't experienced what you have. Maybe, like myself, I've been through a lot of communication. I've been through a lot of education on behavior and psychology and understanding how our mind works. So I understand that I'm going to communicate differently than someone else I meet. When my client first comes in and sits down with me, I'm not going to expect them to be able to articulate what they're feeling. I have to understand it's my job to know they're doing the best they can with the resources they have. And I need to figure out how to help them understand to communicate what they need. Same thing in your relationships, okay? Understand everybody's doing the best they can with the resources they have. And then what you do is you empathize with people. You just say, wow, they're probably going through that because they need something in their life right now. Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they lost someone. Maybe something they've been holding out on forever didn't come through. Or maybe they got bad news on their health. Just empathize and try to be a part of the solution. Give people a chance and you'll realize there's a lot more good going on around you than you recognize. You want to create a stress-free relationship? There's your answer. Okay? Remember, attitude's important. Figure out if you got a problem. If it's a problem, figure out if you want it in your life or not. If you don't, get rid of it. If you do, take the challenge. Okay? Take the positive intention and make it a challenge. And give everybody a break, including yourself, and know that you're always doing the best you can with the resources you have. Okay? Excellent questions, you guys. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. All right, so that wraps our live event for today. Now, if you have any questions for me, please write them in the comments section below. I will review them later and I'll use them to create new articles and questions for our next events. Now, the most important part. It's time for you to take action. It's time for you to put these great ideas to work. But before you do, I'm going to ask you to take action here to help us keep these awesome events going. So right now, do me a favor and click like on CureJoy's Facebook page. And then go over and click like on my Facebook page. And if you enjoy this event, please share it with your network and your friends. You never know who might need to hear it, and you can actually change someone's life today. And last, if you want to stay connected with me, head over to the link you see below. Thank you guys again for joining me. I really appreciate it. And remember, extraordinary is only a thought away.